On the Edge with April Mahoney Brains. Here, this is the place where the conversation is pointed, the guests are sharp, and the responses are never dull. Welcome home, Brains.
Coming to you straight from San Diego, California. Let's welcome our host, April Mahoney.
So, Kimberly, I'm so glad to have you here on the edge with me. You are up near Yosemite, one of my favorite places on the planet. I remember visiting Yosemite, me and Mr. Magnificent. It was wonderful. And learning so much about John Muir.
John Muir is very famous.
Yes, I didn't realize almost every state in the United States has a John Muir Elementary School or something named after him.
Something famed by John Muir, yes.
Yeah, he was wonderful. Well, we're going to talk about your fame right now here on the Edge. Brains, right there, that is Kimberly Vaughan. Now, I want to tell you a little bit about her. She is a woman with a maximum amount of love and a lot of capacity. You never know that she is a mother of 5. She runs not one business, but 2 businesses. She has been a foster parent. We're going to talk a little bit about that, what that looks like. And she has a very niche market. She hosts and coordinates weddings for the LGBT community. And I want to get into that a little bit because I remember back in the day, not only could our gay brothers and sisters not be married, but they were giving them a hard time getting a marriage license. So what does that look like to cater to that population, to that group? And she's going to tell us all about that. So help me welcome her to the edge, Kimberly Vaughan. Hi, baby.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely. I'm glad to have you here. Tell us a little bit about your story and how you arrived to be the woman that you are and finding all this capacity and all this space for love.
I don't even know where to begin. There's a very famous saying in our household and certainly with the businesses that it takes a village to raise a Kimberly. And that couldn't be more true. You know, I have a great support system. Equality has always been important to me. Fairness has always been important to me. And people's dreams coming true have always been important to me, whether it was with an HR hat or later in the wedding industry or helping people reach their maximum ability through parenting. So it's just always been important. And I don't know, I mean, does anyone find themselves in their life and go, how the heck did I get here? Just a lot of passion.
They find themselves, but they never take the time to question themselves. They never take the time to rewind and say, hey, this is who I was, this is who I am, and this is who I aspire to be. And I think you and I have both really kind of sat down and taken the time to work through that, because that's the playbook, our playbook of life. So you're the mother of 5 boys. What's that
5
for?
boys. That makes every day really busy and fun and interesting. And 2 of our children have left the nest, so to speak. They're successful adults and they are living their adult life, adulting they call it. And so, we don't get the pleasure of their company every day like we used to, but they're off and running and all boys is fun,
But you opened up your home also to foster children. What encouraged you and motivated you to do that with already having 5 children?
I don't know. I think when you have a house of love and you have one of those houses where all the kids just kind of want to assemble, they want to come, it just kind of felt natural. We just want to be good parents to some children who, might need help temporarily or might need help with permanent placement. So we've done both. And it was a little bit by accident. It wasn't something that we had thought that we would ever do, but the kids were all assembled, neighborhood kids and our children one day. And I don't even know if all the kids know my name because they all just call me Mom. So They bounced out of the room one day and said, "Hey, can this one call you mom?" And I thought, well, the rest of you do, so go for it. I really didn't put a lot of thought into the question, I guess, until she started crying and heavily, and the other children started backing away slowly from the crying blonde bombshell in our living room. And you have to take that moment and sit down and start investigating, what's going on in this young girl's life. And she had been coming to our home for years with all the other kids and playing, and she said that she wanted us to be her parents, and that she'd been coming here to our home, and she thinks we're terrific parents, and she loves our family. And I never knew that she was in the system. I don't know how I missed that, but I did not know. And when she shared that with me, I bawled with her. We cried together, and we immediately started going through the process of being her parents. Right. And a lot of hoops, a lot of cleaning and dotting your I's and crossing your T's, and making sure that you've got this taken care of, that taken care of, right down to we're in the country, so our well water had to be tested. I mean, everything is addressed. And so it's,
imagine what active foster parents might be going through right now, in this time of flux, homeschooling, dealing with the social worker, dealing with dealing with the emotions of the child and what they're going through, trying to have some stability, trying to just be normal, or whatever that looks like. So
right.
In addition to all of that, you run 2 businesses. How did you get started in the wedding planning business?
Well, I was in the Bay Area. I loved planning events, mostly corporate events in the Bay Area. And when we moved to beautiful Yosemite, I saw an opportunity to help couples marry inside the park, which is a truly fantastic experience. And I encourage everyone to get married in Yosemite. I did, and it was unforgettable. You can't take a bad picture in Yosemite. You just can't. So it just seemed like such a great opportunity to share in people's most precious moments in the area that I love best. I couldn't resist. So I got started in it and found that I absolutely loved it, and met some amazing creatives here in the area. And like most small businesses, on a limited marketing budget, it was like, how do I get the word out there? How do I get a broader reach about what we're doing? And a friend of mine on the radio station in Merced and contacted me one day, and she said, "Kimberly, I'm selling the station. I'm moving back to the Bay Area. I'm going to go be with my grandkids." And I was happy for her. But she said, "This radio station has been putting on these bridal shows for years, and they don't want to do it. The salespeople are tired of it. They don't want to do it, and I think you should do it." And I said, "I have never done anything like that before in my life." And she said, "Come on down here, drive down. I'll show you everything you need to know about being a bridal show producer." And I thought, okay, that's cute. So I drove down, and she sent me home with boxes and boxes of information. And I did my first one, and it was terrible. I mean, it was just like, it was so bad. Well planned is what the exhibitor said, but we just needed to work a little bit more on the marketing strategy. And they loved me and wanted to keep the ball going and rolling, and they committed to helping me get that word out, and let's build something we can all be proud of. And 15 years later, we're the largest wedding expo in the Central Valley. So it took a little bit of time, and we nailed it, and we're all better wedding professionals for it.
So you really create a unique event. I've been to plenty of weddings, and all weddings are unique, but you take extra care. You're really working with the LGBT community to create that special moment for them. I went on your website, down to the cake, Brains. The cake is rainbow.
There's a lot of really great ideas, going on in the wedding industry to really showcase marriage equality and rainbow weddings, and it has been so much fun. I don't get to personally work with every wedding, but I get to rejoice in all the photos of what's happening, across the country, and really be a part of that. So, being in California, it was really painful to watch all the changes going back and forth with marriage equality. It was, legal, it's not legal, it's legal, it's not legal. And so there were a lot of legal battles going on and a lot of couples caught in the crossfire of that. And, it was so frustrating. I just feel like marriage equality in itself has been not just a win for the LGBTQ community, but for everyone. Every step that we get closer to equality, to true equality, is a better place. And so, you have to take these wins and be a part of that celebration. And this was something that was happening right in my industry. And so I could see the pain that the couples were dealing with, and I could see the frustration that the wedding professionals were dealing with as well. So we decided that we would put together some great courses and educate wedding professionals to help them be the best that they could be for same-sex couples, and put together our wedding expos, which were already very open and affirming and definitely filled with diversity. It's the International Wedding Festival is what it's called, and it's all about celebrating love. And so, it felt like that was the contribution that we could give to the wedding industry and to this huge win that was happening for everyone. Such a great thing.
It is a great thing, and it's a beautiful thing. And I think more people need to embrace it, because it's a way of life, and everyone needs to be treated with dignity and respect and have a hell of a wedding.
And celebrate love. It doesn't just come around, easily. So if you get it, you should hang on to it and just, shout it out from a mountaintop. Pick Yosemite and come shout it out on a mountaintop here, because we're all about love. And I'm just so happy when I see people who have found love in their life and are willing to embrace a commitment for a lifetime and ready to do that in their lives. So it's such an honor to be in the industry called A Cup with Kim. And we just get wedding professionals together to really talk about what is happening in our industry. How can we convey information to couples? How are we not only going to survive this? What are the phases going on in California? But what are some creative things that we can think about? What are the policies and procedural things that we need to change in terms of COVID and how we're communicating this to couples as well? So that's been really great. It's been like a think tank of people within the industry. The flip side of, these business owners going fetal have been business owners and entrepreneurs who just are like, I am not sitting still. This is going to be my victory song, not my victim song. I'm going to come out through on the other side. I'm bringing as many people as I can with me, and we're going to kill it. And that's really the mentality that either makes you or breaks you, and that makes you.
Exactly, because it makes you unique, but also too, the cost associated with a wedding. Now you're not going to be having the cost of the big venue and the destination weddings and all that. So now wedding planners and wedding organizers can maybe move more volume. So they may have. What do you think?
Yeah, and I think some couples have decided they're going to do the mini monies. They're going to do mini monies right now, and then they're still going to and they're still going to plan the big day, right? Because we all want what we want, and on such an important occasion, we want what we want. So I think a lot of couples are doing that. They don't want to hold off on the I do's. They don't want to hold back on the love, but they do want to hold back on all the expense right now, of course. You can't go anywhere. Your trip to Europe canceled. So, next best thing, Yosemite. But, I think that when we go around to 2021, I think what couples are going to have to remember is that there's only 52 Saturdays in a year. And if you haven't got your providers picked out, and you haven't put down deposits, and you haven't figured out which date you're rolling into for next season, you need to now, because with only 52 seasons in a year, everyone's going to get booked up. We're losing people in our industry. They're not surviving. And those who are going to have a full dance card. There are going to be changes for these couples in terms of how services are delivered and things that they need to think about. Photo booths, for example. Do you want props at your photo booth? knowing that what COVID is doing, and do you really want that contamination factor to occur at your event with your family members? And a lot of catering companies are really having to change how they deliver food, how they service food.
Right,
And all
right.
that PPE comes at a cost. Meat prices have skyrocketed because you can't find meat anywhere, and so unfortunately all of these costs are going to trickle down to the host and hostesses of events. So that's going to be a given, unfortunately. So people might push out their weddings even as far as 2023 and have the day of their dreams and just have that little mini Moni right now, which is beautiful.
Little mini Moni.
Mini Moni.
And again, yeah, and they're not running off to Vegas. They're not doing that because Vegas
No,
is down, but
no,
again, they're afraid to be in these environments now. But again, not
absolutely.
tour the love. It can't it can't take. Um, what are some of the challenges that you face? Just as a woman trying to stay balanced. Again, house full of kids, husband, two businesses, a child with special needs. You were fostering. How do you find time for Kimberly? How do you make time for balance for you?
That's a good question. And it's peaks and valleys. I'm just going to say that, like everyone's life, it's peaks and valleys. And so sometimes things are very, very busy because we're in the wedding industry. And then other times it's not as busy. So, we have that. The other thing is that you got to have a support system. And again, the saying around here is it takes a village to raise a Kimberly. It takes a village to raise children, yes, but it also takes a village to raise a Kimberly. And as a family, we do a lot together. So our older boys have been involved with the business since they were very young. And so that's how we've spent a lot of our time together, is at wedding expos and wedding festivals and things like that. Not as much fun for, teen boys, but great for me. And
Great for me.
just, yeah, and great for the business, but taking time for me is like head down to the river, or jump down to a great Zumba class or jazzercise, and do something for myself. Sometimes it's a simple pleasure, like go get a frozen ice cream or a frozen yogurt and just have a simple pleasure. Other times it's bigger things, but you adjust and you do the things that you're passionate about. But the whole other side to this really is that everything around me and everything that I do has to do with love. So it just doesn't feel like work. It feels like love.
Well, love takes work too. It does. I mean, because you just look at the world today and just, mask, no mask, red, blue, black, white, it just seems so simple, just the word love. But love is a big $25 word. And that's why I think every religion under the sun, that is one of its doctrines, is that we must have unconditional, or we should try to practice unconditional love. What would you say to individuals that are struggling with that right now? How do we find peace? How do we look for love?
Well, the first thing, of course, is open your heart. It's all around you, absolutely all around you. So even just the simplest kindness to strangers can invoke a lot of love. You just never know what someone's dealing with in their day, and just what a simple gesture can do for someone else. So, that's one start. And also, there is a lot of hate going on, and there's a lot of anger going on in the world. But the flip side of that is we live in a balance, right? And so the volume on hate goes up, so does the volume on love. As much as there's somebody out there to hate, there are just as many people out there to love. So, it's difficult to see the world in such a challenged state right now, but it's also an opportunity to see people at their best. The best lessons I've ever learned in life have been sometimes in my darkest hours. And so I think that we're at a precipice right now where people see rawness and they see an opportunity to dig in and be a part of things and be heard and make change, where maybe they didn't feel that they had the ability to contribute before. Now these are everyone's fights. This is everyone creating a better place.
Right, absolutely. It's about survival right now. We don't have time for creation. We just need to try to survive and get through this, you know. So tell me some fun things about you, Kimberly. If you were a color, what color would you be? Any color.
Well,
Purple?
right now my kayak, which is my newest passion, is kayaking, is purple. So I think I would be purple.
And why would you pick purple?
I don't know. It's a really pretty color.
Royal? If you
Really bright, a bright purple. I'm a huge lover of peacocks. I own peacocks. I absolutely love them. They're my relaxation. I like the noises that they make. I love their behaviors. I like the way that they communicate with one another. And so purple's kind of big for me anyway. And now kayaking is. So that's a fun thing about me. I'm enjoying that. Had you known me a year ago, you would have known that I probably wouldn't have kayaked. This past year has really been getting out more and doing more physical activities and eating better and being healthier. And it's really been a strong focus for me. So
let me talk about how in the world did you get peacocks?
There is a peacock grower in our area. I had to drive an hour and a half to go and pick them up, but they're just so beautiful.
Really, tell me, how in the world did you get some peacocks? Did you go find Joe Exotic or something? Where did you get them?
Oh my gosh, that's funny. The raiser, the breeder's name is actually Joe. How did you know that?
Really?
Yes.
That's
I'll be
cute.
darned.
That's cute. So tell me a little bit about the raising of a peacock. Do they lay eggs and do they have babies there, or really?
They do. If Dale would let them, continue being hatched, sure, we would have babies, but we have so much going on here. I think he's just like, no more animals, no more. We've got lambs and peacocks and chickens and ducks and lots of kids. So there's plenty to do here.
Well, that is a wonderful place to live. It seems like you have a lot of entertainment and you have a lot of diversity, be it with animals or human beings. Tell my brains how to get in contact with you. If they want to plan a wedding, maybe you can open up a petting zoo.
Don't give me any ideas. Anyone can get a hold of me at Kimberly@lgbtweddings.com. And I encourage people to visit the website. There are some really beautiful stories that are being shared there on the website. It's a fantastic site. And if you're a wedding professional and would like to share your services and your products with the community, by all means, please join us. We're all about making sure that couples can come and find wedding providers that are truly excited about their special day. We just gave away a wedding to a wonderful couple. I won't even say their names yet because it hasn't been made public, but they're actually getting married in Yosemite, and I'm really excited for this couple. They're from the Bay Area originally and have been living in the Midwest, and so this is an opportunity to get married back where they're from and at least be in the same state. And they have both been dreaming about Yosemite. So when they entered the contest, they didn't believe that they would win. The phone call with them was like screaming and yelling and jumping up and down. It was so much fun. So
what does that entail? Just give us a snapshot of when you raffle off something that unique and that special. What does that look like? Is there
it looks like a venue, and they've got a photographer and the cake and the videography and the DJ and a wedding planner, and just everything that you would possibly need for a wedding is included in these packages. And of course, with the International Wedding Festival, we give two $25,000 weddings away each year. So this is something we do regularly. It's just the first time we've been able to incorporate this with lgbtweddings.com. So a very, very special thing. And, it's just watching all the Pride events get canceled across the country. It just felt like we need a celebration. Let's do something fun. And, giving away a $15,000 wedding sounded like a really great start.
Well, it is. And you are a jump starter for sure. And thank you so much for being here on the edge with me and my brains. I appreciate you so
Thank
much.
you.
You are a wealth of information. You're a very strong woman, and it seems like you're very balanced, and we can learn a lot from you. So thank you again for being here on the edge with us.
Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye. Be good and watch those peacocks. Hey, if they throw some feathers away, send them to me. I like them.
I will do that.
Okay? Talk to you soon.